everybody, and welcome to Week 2 of Trojan Talk here on BCHS Live. Last Friday night was the opening game of the 2018 high school football season for the Barron County Trojans at the new Trojan Stadium and Trojan Field as we took on Casey County. The Trojans, unfortunately, were not victorious in that ball game, losing to the Casey County Rebels by a score of 40-0. Of course, Coach, not the outcome you wanted for this first game, but Casey County had returned a couple of good players, veteran players, quarterback, and their running back from last year. Pretty good football team you played. I think they were rated as high as maybe 8th in Class 3A. Yeah,
Casey County's a good ball club. They, that guy does a good job. Coach Stonebreaker does, and he's been there for several years now, and he's got his system in, and the kids have bought in, and that was a good class he's had. That was one of his first original classes that have come through, and they're big, they're physical, they're strong, and they're going to be hard to deal with in 3A.
And Coach, before we kind of get more in depth with this ball game from last week, let's go back to before the game highlights. You invited some former Trojan players into the locker room and for the pregame speech, and I understand there might have been some younger Trojan or future Trojan players in there too as well.
Yeah, we invited all the alumni in, and that's something we'll do every Friday. So if you're an alumni watching, you're more than welcome to come to that. But it's something that Coach Bennett did when I was in high school, and I always just really thought it was special, and so I kind of wanted to do it, and it means a lot to those guys that come back to watch the games, and hopefully it has the same effect on our players as it did on me.
Mm-hmm. Well, how exciting it was for the fans and the community to come out, our first home game since October of 2016 on that new turf and in the new stadium, and for you as well as head coach.
It was fun to play a home game. It was we didn't have to go anywhere, get on a bus or anything, and the atmosphere was great. The Trojan Walk was really cool. I hope we have that same support every Friday. It was just an electric crowd. Every snap there was noise, and that's what you want. And I think the kids enjoyed it. It's a good atmosphere.
Well, what was it like for the team and the coaches coming out of that tunnel for the first time?
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I always try to get out of there and let them come out by themselves. And man, I just know when I kind of trotted out before them, I could just kind of see people getting ready. They when I walked out, they were coming down the steps, and you could hear the crowd start to get a little louder and a little louder, and you could hear the guys start going. And then, of course, the student section of the band did a great job making the tee, and it was really cool.
Then the captains came out, Wyatt Pettigo, Cameron Hurt, Nolan Toohey, and Zach Johnson, and you escorted them out to midfield for the coin toss along with Superintendent Bo Matthews.
Yeah, I asked Mr. Matthews to be our honorary captain. This is none of this would be possible if it wasn't for him. So I wanted him to do that, and I was glad he did, and it was a special time. It was pretty cool.
Casey County won the toss and elected to receive, and on the Rebels' first play after the opening kickoff, it was defensive lineman Campbell Ross that sacked the quarterback Austin Campbell for an 11-yard loss. And what a great way to start the game.
Oh, it was awesome. High momentum early. Campbell made a great play. Jake Gill, go back and watch it. Jake Gill actually kind of forced him out of the pocket. He come through on a little stunt and forced him out of the pocket, and Campbell did what he was supposed to do and kept his outside arm free and made the tackle.
Yeah, and Casey County was forced to punt on the opening drive, and then the Trojans took over at their own 15-yard line.
Yeah, we had a good start there early. We did some good things, and I thought the kids competed. I was obviously not happy with the way it ended or the way it kind of went, but the kids played hard. We're probably a clock malfunction away from maybe a few more first downs. Who knows? I mean, it kind of killed our momentum there, but you get that with a young team sometimes, and stuff we got to recover from. But we saw a lot of good things on film. You say, how can you see something? Good things on film from something like that. But, I mean, in position, just got to make a play here and make a play there, and we're fine.
You used two quarterbacks in the game Friday night, senior Zach Johnson and also sophomore Dalton Ford. They shared time at the quarterback spot. And I know when you had Ford in the game, you had Johnson at a running back.
Yeah, Zach is a pretty versatile player. You know, he's of course he's new. He wasn't with us last year, but he gives us that really physical runner from the quarterback spot. And you know, Dalton does what Dalton does. He throws the ball and he knows the offense. And saw good things from both. Zach will start Friday, just kind of with our game plan, what we're going to do, and you know, he'll. I'm sure we'll use them both again. But you know, when Zach isn't at quarterback, he's usually going to play. He's going to play what we call F. Mm-hmm. And you know, he's a good player, good physical runner, good football player.
On the first offensive play was wide receiver Gavin Withrow. He got a first down and another first down during this drive. And of course, we fumbled the ball on the 34, and then it was Casey County's Preston Tucker that ran it for that first touchdown of the ball game. Wilkerson missed the extra point, and Casey County led 6-0 with 5 minutes gone in the first quarter. The Trojans then were forced to punt on the next possession, and Casey County scored 2 more times in the first quarter. Reese Brown scored from 39 yards out with 5 minutes to play, and Wilkerson's kick made it 13-0. And then Tucker scored again with 9 seconds left in the opening quarter and a 10-yard pass from Campbell. Wilkerson made it 20-0 with that extra point kick at the end of the first quarter. We just never really were able to score after that.
Yeah, you know, that was the most frustrating part. You know, in game you're wondering what are we doing wrong? But really, we're just a block here, a missed kick out there. You know, we're just right there. We just got to shore up some things and be a little more solid, and we'll be fine.
You know, there was a bright spot there toward the end of the half. Casey County was leading 26-0, and Tyler Bush possibly saved another Rebel touchdown there late.
Yeah, I think they were kind of throwing it up there at the end of the half. Tyler went up and made a good play. He's a basketball kid. He's used to that. So he went up and made a good play, and, you know, a shoestring away from making it 20, would have been 20.
26-6, or 7, yeah. Of course, you know, Tyler intercepted that ball near the end zone, actually, and then ran it back close to the 50-yard line. Then beginning the second half, Bush returned the kickoff all the way back to the Casey County 30-yard line. He broke several tackles and almost took it all the way. Just couldn't get it in the end zone.
Yeah, you know, and then we had a chance to score right there, and we were moving the ball. You know, we're moving the ball in that series, and I made a stupid call. I made a bad play call, and we got intercepted there. So that's, you know, that one was on me. We should have scored.
And then, of course, after that, Casey County scored again in the third and fourth quarters. And, you know, you had many players on the Casey County team that were seniors and against what you'd have to still say a younger Trojan squad. Talk about some of the positive things, though, that you saw and from some of the players that did some good things for you despite the loss last Friday night.
Well, you know, you go back and look at film, and our offensive line played pretty well. I don't remember any negative plays on run plays. You know, you go back and you look at the times where we were rushing, and anytime we were running downhill, I don't remember a negative play. So we were getting a push. We just got to do a better job staying on blocks, and you know, we've got some athletes out on the edge. I got to spread the ball around a little more. So it's not all, you know, it's not all a player problem, you know, and it's not all a coach problem either. Just a couple combinations of both. We're trying to figure out our identity, and once we figure out our identity, that's when it will really start rolling. We just got to figure it out first.
I know you had one player that went down in that game. That was Jamarcus Smiley, and it appeared at first it might have been a knee injury, but he got up and even came back in the ball game.
I thought it was a knee. It scared me to death. You know, Jamarcus is a good young player for us. You know, he's one of the best young receivers in the state, in my opinion. And he went down, and it scared me. And I think he was cramping a little bit. I think he got kind of, I don't know, frogged in the calf or something. I don't know, but I thought it was a knee too. And it come to find out he was fine. He just needed a minute, and so.
Yeah, and I talked to him today at school, and he seemed fine. You know, he just said it may have popped or something when he went down, but after that, he got up after a little bit and seems to be good.
Yep, he was fine. He's been good all week.
And Nolan Toohey, of course, went out. I think understand he may have had a high temperature.
Nolan had been a little under the weather for a couple days, and he was feeling good, and then just got in the game, and his temperature got up again. He wasn't feeling good, and Cody Rogers, who started at center for us last year, he had been injured. He came, he kind of had his little coming out party. He had a great game. I thought he did some things good, and he stepped right in for Nolan and did a good job.
Mm-hmm. Stats from the game, according to our stat sheet, the Trojans had 104 total yards, 20 rushing yards, or actually 20 rushes for just 10 net yards, but we were 16 of 26 in passing for 94 yards. We had 6 first downs, 2 turnovers, 6 penalties for 40 yards, and Casey County had 387 total yards, 27 carries for 174, 15 of 24 passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and then 213 yards. Casey County had 13 first downs, 1 turnover, and 8 penalties for 70 yards. But they were they were a physical team, and again, going back to the quarterback and the running back, they had veteran players had been there 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, they're a good football team. They're arguably one of the best teams on our schedule, if not the best team. So they're very physical, they're very well coached, and they're going to be tough to handle.
Well, Coach, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will talk with Trojan player Gavin Withrow as we'll continue Trojan Talk after this break on BCHS Live.
You're watching BCHS Live on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. BCHS Live is a student-led live online video production program started in 2015 by 4 BCHS freshmen. The BCHS Live program is here to showcase everything going on at BCHS, from athletics to special events and opportunities to ceremonies and celebrations. The BCHS Live program is here to show everyone in our community what BCHS is all about, and with 3 major online outputs of our broadcasts, we truly live up to our motto: everything BCHS, anywhere you want it.
The Burgundy Media Network, or BMN for short, is a network of Barron County High School's 3 major media outlets: 88.7 FM, Trojan Radio, BCHS Live, and the Trojan Times school newspaper. As a whole, we are determined to provide you with BCHS news, sports, and interest like never before. Check out our weekly newscast broadcasted every Friday from within Barron County High School, or check out our website at barronschools.com/BMN. From all of us to you, we thank you for your support of all things BCHS. The Trojan Thread School Spirit Store is the #1 place to find any and all things BCHS, with a wide selection of clothes including hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, and polos, to everyday items including pens, pencils, notebooks, and stickers, to jewelry including earrings, necklaces, bracelets, and wristbands. So stop by the Trojan Thread store any weekday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. or during any home varsity basketball game. The Trojan Thread School Spirit Store, keeping Barron County in style.
Heading into the second year from an approximate 12-year hiatus, the Trojan Times has an all-new look and an all-new approach to bringing you BCHS happenings. We are an entirely student-based publication working more than ever this year to inform you with BCHS happenings. I'm Brennan Crane, Editor-in-Chief, and I can say that we are thrilled to showcase BCHS in a whole new way. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at BC Trojan Times. You won't want to miss this. Go BC!
Welcome back to more Trojan Talk. With me now is Trojan player number 3, Gavin Withrow, 5'9" sophomore, played wide receiver last week for the Trojans. First of all, Gavin, welcome to Trojan Talk. Glad to have you.
Having me.
You didn't play football last year, but you did play middle school. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What was it got you wanting to play football this year for the Trojans?
Coach Arnett, going back to last year, reached out to me and asked me to play, and I wanted to go out, but it was just a little too late, and so I told him, I was like, I'll be there next year, because I just really missed it, and I mean, how could you not play now, for sure?
Well, you look at the backdrop we have.
Yeah.
What a nice place to play in. What was it like to run through that tunnel last Friday night for the first time?
It was fun. It was fun. That's something I always remember. It was fun.
And you did that right in front of the home crowd. We hadn't had a home game since 2016, and of course, you were our offensive player of the game last week. You had 52 yards on 8 carries, I believe it was, and did you think Casey County was a very physical ball club?
Very physical. The first play, I took a hit, so it was good to get that one under my belt. But after that, it was just back to normal.
Yeah. What are some things you want to try to work on as a player as this season progresses?
Oh, well, I had a fumble, so I can't do that anymore, and just keep my feet moving and just keep trying to get as many yards as I can and put some points on the board.
How's Coach been this week, and how's practice gone?
He's been good. He's been really positive, which is important, and we had a good week of practice getting ready for Allen County.
Well, what do you want to get ready for Allen County tomorrow night? What do you want to work on yourself?
Just making sure I run all my routes precise and just make sure I go hard every play and just do whatever they ask.
Yeah. Well, Gavin, thanks for being on the show tonight. Good luck to you tomorrow night against the Patriots.
Yep.
Going to take another break, and when we come back, Coach Arnett will join me again, and we'll look ahead to the Patriots ball game tomorrow night here at Trojan Field. Trojan Talk continues after this break on BCHS Live.
You're watching BCHS Live on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. BCHS Live is a student-led live online video production program started in 2015 by 4 BCHS freshmen. The BCHS Live program is here to showcase everything going on at BCHS, from athletics to special events and opportunities to ceremonies and celebrations. The BCHS Live program is here to show everyone in our community what BCHS is all about, and with 3 major online outputs of our broadcasts, we truly live up to our motto: everything BCHS, anywhere you want it.
The Burgundy Media Network, or BMN for short, is a network of Barron County High School's 3 major media outlets: 88.7 FM, Trojan Radio, BCHS Live, and the Trojan Times school newspaper. As a whole, we are determined to provide you with BCHS news, sports, and interest like never before. Check out our weekly newscast broadcasted every Friday from within Barron County High School, or check out our website at barronschools.com/BMN. From all of us to you, we thank you for your support of all things BCHS. The Trojan Thread School Spirit Store is the #1 place to find any and all things BCHS, with a wide selection of clothes including hoodies, t-shirts, long-sleeve shirts, and polos, to everyday items including pens, pencils, notebooks, and stickers, to jewelry including earrings, necklaces, bracelets, and wristbands. So stop by the Trojan Thread Store any weekday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. or during any home varsity basketball game. The Trojan Thread School Spirit Store, keeping Barron County in style.
Heading into the second year from an approximate 12-year hiatus, the Trojan Times has an all-new look and an all-new approach to bringing you BCHS happenings. We are an entirely student-based publication working more than ever this year to inform you with BCHS happenings. I'm Brennan Crane, Editor-in-Chief, and I can say that we are thrilled to showcase BCHS in a whole new way. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at BC Trojan Times. You won't want to miss this. Go BC!
Welcome back to more Trojan Talk. Allen County-Scottsville Patriots are the Trojans' opponents for the next game coming up Friday night. The Trojans, or the Patriots, under Coach Brad Hood, play in Class 4A District 2 with Franklin Simpson, Warren Central, and Warren East. They defeated Adair County last week, 45-18, and Adair County is where we'll be going next Friday night for the first road game of 3 this season. The Patriots, who defeated the Trojans last year 48-7, they lost 10 starters on offense, that's 10 on defense and 5 on offense, including their quarterback Chase Wilson, who threw for nearly 2,700 yards and 32 touchdowns last season. Of course, Wilson's graduated, and Coach Hood used 2 different quarterbacks against Adair County last week, junior Zane Ward and sophomore Trace McIntyre, who combined for 5 of 11 passing for 118 yards. Patriots do return receivers Jacob Lightfoot and Caden Ross, and Lightfoot had nearly 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns last season, and Ross had close to 750 yards and 12 touchdowns. And, Coach, I know you're glad that Wilson has finally graduated.
Yes, I am. Simple as that. Glad he's gone.
They, like I said, they're kind of compared to us in a way, with 2 quarterbacks kind of rotating, with Ward and also McIntyre.
Yeah, they are. They're like us, still trying to find their identity, and they're going to run the ball, I think, a little more this time than they did. I think that's what they're going to hang their hat on, being fit. Brad does a good job. It's a good buddy of mine. I've talked to him a lot over the years. Just his clubs are always physical, and that's something that's kind of where we're trying to get to. We want to be known as someone who's physical like that, and that's what you're going to get out of them. I played against Brad Hood teams and now coached against them, and they've all been the same.
Yeah. I saw where Adair County actually had more yardage in that game over the Patriots, 253 to 238, even though Allen won the ball game 45-18. And you kind of wonder sometimes how that happens when your opposing team actually has more yardage than you, but you beat the team by 45-18. And I'm sure you've seen the video of that game.
Yeah, Adair hit a few big plays, on them, and you know, it was a game. It was a slow start for Allen. You know, it wasn't a blowout, really. You know, Allen got ahead early, but it wasn't, you know, it took a while before the score kind of separated, and Allen's they're Allen County. You know, they're gonna pound that rock and throw it when they need to, and they got two pretty good receivers, and you know, they're tough matchup for a lot of teams.
And I don't know the total on the touchdowns or who got what in that game last Friday night. Was it the quarterbacks that scored, or were it the wide receivers that scored?
Good mixture. They do a good job of mixing it up.
Well, I may have mentioned this before, but how's practice gone this week for you, and what have you worked on after last Friday night's game to get ready for the Patriots tomorrow?
It's went good. You know, we try to work on ourselves more than anybody. You know, we got Allen County this week, but we like to think of as a nameless, faceless opponent. You know, we got to play ourselves too. You know, only we can control if we hang on to the ball or not turn it over and tackle and stuff like that. You know, so we've really just tried to work on making us better. You know, we watch film and we talk about what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, but you know, we've really just wanted to focus on ourselves and make ourselves more solid and a more better football team.
Should be good football weather tomorrow night too. Little bit cooler than what we had last Friday night.
It's almost that time for that perfect football weather.
Absolutely. Coach, good luck to you Friday night.
Thank you.
Game time's at 7 o'clock, and come out and support the Trojans if you can. But if you can't make it, join me along with John Butler and Robert Bauer, sideline reporter Chad Withrow, as we'll have the broadcast on Nash Icon 103.7 FM and online at ESPNKY.com, and also on BCHS Live. Our pregame coverage on the radio will start at 6:35. Of course, this show will repeat on BCHS Live before each football game. That's Trojan Talk for this week. Join us every Thursday night on BCHS Live, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and also on EPB Channel 19 and SCRTC Channel 97. Thanks to Gavin Withrow for being on the show tonight. For Coach Jackson Arnett and the BCHS Live video team, I'm Jay Turner. Thanks for watching.